What's up, you beauties? As you know, Amazon is sponsoring the channel for the next couple of months, so make sure to go ahead and check out their app store in the links down below. You can get up to 20% off your purchases if you purchase through the Amazon App Store using their coins. So make sure to check the description and check the linked video to see how to go ahead and use that setup guide. It's extremely easy and it helps the channel out a bunch, so I appreciate you guys checking that out. And now let's go ahead and get into the video. What is up, you beauties? My name is BatChatBegins and welcome back to the channel. Now today I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about the VK90 and sort of as a side topic about update 8.2. And I think the two topics actually go together fairly well. The reason being is because of all of the heavy nerfs that are coming into the game in update 8.2. Obviously, they are lowering the DPM of some tanks. They are absolutely destroying my beloved E5, which is a bit of a shame. But they're really nerfing the Kranvagn as well, which I didn't think they would actually touch because it didn't seem to be doing so bad. But I suppose the Wargaming executives are either A, tired of comp, or B, tired of heavy meta. And I think it's probably leaning towards B a little bit. You know, I've been in this game for quite a long time, and obviously I have seen quite a few things go through the game. There used to be the meta was all medium tanks. The 140s were absolutely everywhere because they had a lot of great pen. But after the medium nerfs and the heavy buffs, you know, they buffed the hit points not too long ago. The tanks like the E5 and the Kranvagn, and now, you know, the newest tank, the Yo, are absolutely dominating the battlefield. And with these nerfs, I think that's going to restore some balance to the game. I still think that mediums are actually kind of overlooked right now. They are very strong in my opinion, and as always, you know, the light tanks are very strong as well. So honestly, the meta's in kind of a mixed state right now for me. But one thing I do think that is going to be very strong next patch is these collectibles and premium tanks at tier 10. You know, the Super Conqueror, the Chieftain, the VK90, especially the VK90. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the VK90 and what makes it so strong in my opinion. And that's sort of a combination of a few different things. And I'll just start listing some of them off. The thing has incredible frontal armor. Its turret is even harder to pin than a mouse's turret. So this thing has a great hull down armor profile. And to complement that, it gets 10 degrees of gun depression all over the side of the tank. And so that makes it very deadly in these kind of holding engagements, which it is really meant for. The tank also has a fantastic amount of standard penetration. It gets up to 290 standard pen when you're using calibrated shells. And that can make this thing an absolute menace. It also has one of the best side scraping profiles in the game, even better than the mouses in my opinion. Now, the things that sort of let the tank down, and I'm going to be very, very honest with you in this, its mobility is really, really crap, but that's kind of expected from a super heavy. During the course of the games that I played in it today, I actually removed the, what's it called, the hit point boost that you can get, and I actually replaced that with the fuel. I wanted to be able to traverse quicker, and I wanted to be able to have a higher power to weight ratio because this thing it struggles when it comes to repositioning. If your team loses a flank, this can definitely be a casualty of that kind of mistake from your team. So I want to try and cut out that that kind of issue that this tank has. And as you can see, I am struggling to kind of compete with these medium tanks, and I didn't really have the ability to go ahead and reposition to deal with the E100 and 215B183 earlier. That would have been a better idea, but at the same time, I did think my team would hold on for a bit longer on this flank. Another thing that this tank doesn't really have in spades is premium penetration, so if you are coming up against something that has quite a bit of armor or goes hull down very well, like it struggles with an IS-7 turret. It definitely struggles with dealing with a mouse when it's fully side-scraped. So those are things that you kind of have to take into account when you are looking to play this tank. Luckily, I was able to hold on just long enough so that my team could kill the Progetto, and they do manage to actually end up killing the 268 in the end, which is very, very nice. So as you can see here, we've done just shy of 4.2k. gotten a pretty decent amount of credits for tier 10, 101k. I think I am running credit boosters, but this tank does make a decent amount of credits. And we did have an overall nice game. But as I can tell you, like, this tank definitely struggles when your team is throwing. Like, if they are actively, like, suiciding into the enemy, this thing is going to have a hard time coming back from that. It doesn't fight other hold down tanks very well at a close distance. So if you're on this map, for instance, and you're on the medium side fighting on that that little hill area, and you're facing a Kranvagn and you're both trading shots, this thing is going to come off worse because of that DPM. It has like 2600 DPM, but it really does struggle at times because it's got that higher alpha, so it has a longer reload. So just make sure that you position as best you can in this tank to try to negate that kind of issue where you get rushed and you get your health just drained instantly. As you can see, I no longer have like 2700 hit points because I've switched it out for that fuel. You know, going just a little bit faster makes the tank a bit more comfortable for me. Also, another thing is, you know, platooning can make this tank exponentially better. Obviously, you know, you want to make sure that you can support your platoon mate, as I said in the win rate video not that long ago. So, you know, tanks like other heavies, you know, autoloaders, things like medium tanks, anything that can come and help you and that you can go and try and help to hold a line will be very, very good for this tank. So just as an example in this video, I am hull down right here, and it's going to be very, very difficult for the Maus or the Conqueror or the IS-7 to go ahead and pin my turret. This is an example of that accuracy that I mentioned earlier. As you can see, we did whiff on the Yag, which is a bit unfortunate. You know, that kind of thing is going to happen, you know. You don't have the best accuracy. Your aim time's all right. It's not great. But the one thing you do have in spades is that ability to side scrape, and I'm going to be showing you guys that throughout the course of this game. Now, I wanted to get in here. I wanted to try and avoid getting shot by the Yag, so I wanted to go to the right, but didn't really want to get shot by the Yag. So, at this point, I'm just going ahead and trying to shoot the IS-7, and the Yag does bounce us. I went into third-person view to actually take a look at where he bounced us, because I didn't see it in-game. And there's no mark on the hull, which he might have been able to pin with heat. And in fact, I do think he could pin the hull with heat from that angle where he was above me. But it does look like he actually bounced off our mantlet. So that just goes to show, I think he was aiming for the turret roof or the cheeks. And that just goes to show how tiny the weak spots are and how it is very tough to pin the VK90 from distance. As you can see, not having any trouble with the Maus's lower plate, but we are having trouble with his cheeks. You know, if this was an IS-4 or a Yo or a Kranvagn with that 370-some millimeters of heat pin, we wouldn't even have an issue. But the VK90 does struggle just a little bit with, you know, heavily armored tanks. I was trying to go for the hatch on the Yag, but accidentally missed there. Shouldn't say accidentally. The RNG just sent the shell high, which is a bit unfortunate. So, you know, we want to deal with the bigger gun first, and that's kind of the way we do things here on this channel. You know, take the most deadly tanks out first. And as you can see, I just slightly side scrape as I'm coming towards the Maus, and that lets me bounce shells. You know, if you're dealing with a tank that has high heat pin but low AP pin, the best thing to do would be to present the heaviest angle on your side as you can possible, and that will, they will try and shoot like heat at your side sometimes, and that can get you a bounce. Or it can get caught up in those massive tracks, because this thing is an absolute side-scraping monster. The tracks on the bottom, it's very hard to pin it, even from an over angle. It's really tough to pin, but you just gotta watch that that upper bar there, because that can be pinned. So it's just one of those things, you know. 8.2 is going to be coming out, and there are going to be tanks that are going to be getting worse in the meta. Personally, I don't think the meta is going to change a ton from this. You know, the Kranvagn is still going to be used in comp, as is the E5. But tanks like this, like the VK90, the Super Conqueror, the Chieftain, the Yo, the T-57, the AMX-50B, these are the tanks that we're going to be seeing more of in the future. So I hope you guys enjoy this one. Let me know what you think of the VK90. I know it is coming out in crates soon, so let me know if you guys do get one. This has been Bat Chat Begins, and I will see you guys in the next one.